What is up, guys? In today's video, we're going to check out the new Waves online mastering platform. They are another company adding to the list of online professional mastering done by an AI robot. There's a ton of these out there now. There's, Lander and eMastered and so many others. But today I thought it'd be cool to run through the process of the Waves mastering one and then compare it to a song that I already mastered and see who wins. Let's get into it. Okay, so first let's just run through like the whole Waves online uploading process. You will go and you just add your track to it and you'll upload it and you'll get to this screen here. I purchased one mix just so we can hear what this sounds like. But this is what you get. So you'll be able to listen to the master and then the original. You can volume match it. I believe you can add a reference. So if you have a song that's slightly, in the same ballpark of your song you're uploading, you want to add a reference, it can redo the algorithm in order to sound more like the song you're going for. So, that's what the reference button is. I didn't have that. I just wanted to do a simple kind of run through of it. And then you go to master settings, right? And so you have your style. And so precise is what Waves algorithm recommends for you to use. But there's a couple variations. You can use organic, which is a little like less processing of what it's doing, and then elevated, which is pushing the processing even further. And then you have depth and presence, which seems to be another word for like more low end and fullness or more high end and presence. Okay. So let's just play the master really quick. And then I'll just switch some of these just so you can hear what they do.
It's true. Sometimes I feel I'm ready to go, no problem. I feel like I'm built different than you, and yeah, I still can always weather the storm. So when the shit gets rough and I can barely hold myself up, you're the antidote. Fix my mental for a little.
All right, so those are the different styles. I actually kind of like organic better than precise, but it is what it is. Elevated, is super pushed and sounded that way. Let's play it again in precise mode, and then we'll click on the depth and then the presence so you guys can see how those sound.
I'm still in my own way, it's true. Sometimes I feel I'm ready to go, no problem. I feel like I'm built different than you, and yeah, I still can always weather the storm. So when the shit gets rough and I can barely hold myself up, you're the antidote. Fix my mental for a little.
Okay, so those are the sound of those two. I mean, I feel like this mix is pretty well balanced. So by adding the depth and the presence, it, to me at least, isn't making it sound much better. And that's just, sometimes with a master, you just don't want it to sound any different than the mix, just a bit louder, maybe a little bit wider. But after you finish, scaling this together of how you want it to sound, then you can hit create master. And what it's actually going to do is send you to a purchase page, and it's, $5.99 for one song. And then you can get more, the more credits you get. I got the $5.99 because I don't plan on probably using this anymore because I don't need an online mastering service. Anyway, let's check it out and compare it to the master I did on this song originally. All right, so here are the two songs. Heavyweight Mix to Master Precise is the Waves version, and then Heavyweight MH Master is obviously Matty Harris, my version. So let's just A/B back and forth and see what we think, how it sounds. We'll start with the Waves one.
Sometimes I feel I'm ready to go, no problem. I feel like I'm built different than you, and yeah, I still can always weather the storm. So when the shit gets rough and I can barely hold myself up, you're the antidote. Fix my mental for a little, getting physical. It's a heavy head I carry, no lie. So sometimes I put my weight all on you.
Okay, so those are the two versions. I mean, I like to think that my master sounds better, and it should. I'm a human, and I've been doing this for a long time. But I just feel like, it's a little more open. It's the transients are still intact. I feel like the transients have been subdued a bit on the Waves one. It's a little bit muddy now. It's lost some of the presence and brightness. I do feel like the Waves one is a bit wider. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing. I mean, I'm sure we could make My Master wider if we needed it to, but I don't think this song calls for a super wide mix. And I think that happens sometimes with these automated online, algorithm type things. They just push certain things, make it wider because people like wider's better, but can sometimes lose the mid focus of what the song is all about. So that is the Waves online mastering platform. I don't think it's that bad compared to some of the others I've used. Like when I tried Lander out once, it was just way overly bright. I do like that the Waves one kept it somewhat more like organic, somewhat more to what the mix was, even though we did get a little muddier and it did lose some of the transients, at least didn't like really go away from what the mix was. And with mastering, that should never happen. You should never like go to mastering and get a totally different sound. That's just not what it's all about. It's about, just taking a good mix and adding the fine details to it to bring it to life and bring it to a level where it can compete versus other songs on the radio or, streaming or whatnot. Another thing to note, this is like the first day this thing was released. They have this thing where you can, rate how good the mastering is. And they say that will go towards ways to make their mastering platform better. So maybe like in 3 months from now, we could run this again and it might sound a bit different and possibly better. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What do you think of online mastering? I personally, as a mastering engineer, not a huge fan. I still think that the human touch is something that's well worth the money that you pay. But the online mastering stuff can be really good for, demos and beat makers who just want to get a little extra something without having to spend, the amount of money you would have to spend for a human mastering engineer, which I think you should save for things you're going to release like EPs and albums and actual singles. Anyway, talk to you guys soon. If you do need your songs mixed or mastered, hit me up at mixandmastermysong.com. You can also find my courses and presets there too. Talk to you soon.